In the vast expanse of the Milky Way galaxy, countless alien races had formed the Galactic Federation. This grand alliance brought together beings of all shapes, sizes, and colors. Some were tall and thin, others short and round. Some had tentacles, others had multiple eyes. But they all shared one thing. They were far more advanced than the newcomers called humans. The year was 2157, and humanity had just taken its first steps into the galactic community. Earth scientists had finally cracked the code of faster-than-light travel, allowing humans to explore beyond their solar system. But compared to the other races, humans were like children playing with toys. At the center of the Galactic Federation stood the massive space station, Nexus Prime. It was here that representatives from all races gathered to discuss important matters. The station was a marvel of engineering, with spiraling towers that seemed to defy gravity and halls large enough to house entire starships. On this particular day, the main hall of Nexus Prime was filled with laughter. The source of amusement. A human delegation had just announced their latest project, the Seventh Dimension Warship. Did you hear that? A tall, blue-skinned alien named Zix chuckled to his friend. They think they can harness the seventh dimension. His friend, a small furry creature called Blip, rolled all 6 of his eyes. Humans are so amusing. They barely understand the 4th dimension. And now they want to jump to the 7th. Across the room, the human delegates stood awkwardly, their faces red with embarrassment. They had come to present their groundbreaking project, hoping to impress the Galactic Federation. Instead, they were met with mockery and disbelief. Admiral Sarah Chen, the leader of the human delegation, tried to keep her composure. She was a tall woman with short black hair and a stern expression. Despite the laughter, she stood straight and proud. "I assure you," she said loudly, trying to be heard over the noise, "our scientists have made significant breakthroughs. The 7th Dimension Warship will revolutionize space travel and warfare." This only caused more laughter. A large, tentacled alien named Gloop slithered forward. "Oh, my dear human," he said in a condescending tone, "do you even know what the 7th dimension is?" Admiral Chen opened her mouth to respond, but she realized she didn't have a good answer. The truth was, even Earth's top scientists didn't fully understand the concept. They had stumbled upon a strange energy source that seemed to bend the rules of physics, and they were still trying to figure out how it worked. Seeing her hesitation, Gloop continued, "Let me explain it in simple terms for you. The 7th dimension is beyond your comprehension. It's like trying to teach a fish to climb a tree. Your species is simply not ready for such advanced concepts." The human delegates huddled together, whispering among themselves. They had hoped their announcement would earn them respect and a seat at the table of galactic politics. Instead, they were being treated like children who had wandered into an adult conversation. Dr. Aidan Parrish, the lead scientist on the 7th Dimension Warship project, stepped forward. He was a young man with messy brown hair and thick glasses. Despite his brilliant mind, he looked nervous addressing the alien crowd. "We may not fully understand the 7th dimension yet," he said, his voice shaking slightly, "but we've observed its effects. Our prototype ship has already achieved speeds faster than anything in the known galaxy." This claim was met with skeptical looks and more chuckles. A bird-like alien named Squawk flapped his wings in agitation. "Impossible," he screeched. "Our ships are the fastest in the universe. No primitive human vessel could outpace them." Admiral Chen saw an opportunity. "Then perhaps you'd be willing to put that to the test," she challenged. "A race between your fastest ship and our prototype." The alien representatives looked at each other, surprised by the human's boldness. After a moment of hushed discussion, Zix stepped forward. "Very well," he said with a smirk. "We accept your challenge. In one standard galactic month, we will hold a race. When your ship fails, perhaps you'll finally understand your place in the galaxy." As the meeting adjourned, the human delegates gathered their things and prepared to leave. They felt defeated and humiliated, but Admiral Chen had a glint in her eye. "Don't worry," she told her team. "They may be laughing now, but they won't be laughing for long. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity is really capable of." As they boarded their ship to return to Earth, Dr. Parrish looked worried. "But Admiral," he said, "the seventh dimension warship isn't ready. We've barely begun to scratch the surface of its potential." Admiral Chen smiled. "Then we'd better get to work, Doctor. We have 1 month to turn our prototype into a real warship. The future of humanity depends on it." As their ship departed from Nexus Prime, the laughter of the alien races still echoed in their ears. But little did the Galactic Federation know, they had just lit a fire under humanity. The race was on, and Earth was about to show the galaxy that they were no longer the laughable newcomers. The era of human cosmic dominance was about to begin. The Earth buzzed with activity as news of the upcoming race spread across the planet. Humanity had been challenged, and now it was time to prove their worth to the galaxy. In secret facilities around the globe, scientists worked day and night on the seventh dimension warship project. At the heart of this endeavor was the Quantum Propulsion Laboratory, a massive underground complex hidden beneath the Rocky Mountains. Here, Dr. Aidan Parrish and his team of brilliant minds pushed the boundaries of physics. Dr. Parrish stood before a holographic display, his eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. The image showed a swirling mass of energy, pulsing with colors that shouldn't exist in normal space. "We're close," he muttered, more to himself than to his colleagues. "The seventh dimension is just beyond our reach." Behind him, Admiral Sarah Chen watched with a mix of hope and concern. She knew the pressure they were under. The future of humanity and the galactic community rested on their shoulders. "How close is close, Doctor?" she asked, her voice tense. Dr. Parrish turned to her, running a hand through his messy hair. "We've managed to create a stable portal to the sixth dimension," he explained. "But the seventh, it's like trying to catch smoke with our bare hands." The Admiral nodded, understanding the challenge. "And the ship itself?" "The prototype is ready for testing," Dr. Parrish replied. "We've integrated the dimensional drive, but without full access to the seventh dimension. Its power is limited." As they spoke, alarms began to blare throughout the facility. Red lights flashed, and scientists rushed to their stations. Admiral Chen and Dr. Parrish hurried to the control room, where screens showed a critical situation unfolding. "What's happening?" Chen demanded. A young scientist named Dr. Lisa Wong looked up from her console, her face pale. "The dimensional drive has activated on its own," she reported. "It's drawing enormous amounts of energy." Through the observation window, they could see the prototype ship. It sat in a massive hangar, surrounded by equipment and scaffolding. A strange, shimmering field had enveloped the vessel, distorting the space around it. Dr. Parrish's eyes widened. "It's not possible," he whispered. "The ship is trying to break through to the seventh dimension." For a tense moment, the air in the hangar seemed to ripple and twist. Then, with a flash of blinding light and a thunderous boom, the ship vanished. Silence fell over the control room. Everyone stared at the empty space where the prototype had been just seconds before. Admiral Chen was the first to speak. "Where is it?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Dr. Parrish shook his head, bewildered. I don't know. It could be anywhere. Anywhen." As the team scrambled to make sense of what had happened, a new alarm sounded. Dr. Wong gasped as she read the incoming data. "We're detecting a massive energy signature," she announced. It's our ship. It's reappearing." All eyes turned to the hangar. The air shimmered once more, and with another flash, the prototype materialized. It looked exactly the same as before, but something had changed. The very air around it seemed charged with an otherworldly energy. Dr. Parrish rushed to examine the ship, his scientific curiosity overriding his caution. As he approached, he noticed strange symbols etched into the hull, symbols that hadn't been there before. "This is incredible," he breathed, running his hand over the markings. "These look like equations, multidimensional physics far beyond our current understanding. Admiral Chen joined him, her eyes wide with amazement. "What does this mean, Doctor?" Dr. Parrish turned to her, a mix of excitement and fear on his face. "It means the ship didn't just travel through space," he explained. "It traveled through dimensions, and it brought back knowledge." As the team began to study the transformed ship and its mysterious markings, Admiral Chen couldn't help but smile. The aliens of the Galactic Federation might still be laughing, but humanity had just taken a giant leap forward. "How long until we can replicate this?" she asked Dr. Parrish. The scientist considered for a moment. "With this new information, maybe 2 weeks. We'll have to work around the clock, but I think we can do it." Admiral Chen nodded, determination glinting in her eyes. "Then let's get to work. We have a race to win and a galaxy to impress." As word of the breakthrough spread through the facility, a new energy filled the air. Humanity had stumbled upon something revolutionary, something that could change their place in the universe forever. But as the scientists celebrated their success, none of them noticed a small, blinking light on the ship's control panel. Deep within its systems, a message waited, a warning from across dimensions, hinting at dangers they couldn't yet comprehend. The silent preparation was over. Now, the real challenge was about to begin. The day of the great race had finally arrived. The atmosphere at the Galactic Federation's grand space station, Nexus Prime, crackled with excitement. Alien species from across the galaxy had gathered to witness what they believed would be humanity's humiliation. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the 7th Dimension Warship, now christened the Cosmic Leap. The ship gleamed under the station's lights, its hull marked with the strange symbols they had discovered after its dimensional jump. "Are we ready, Doctor?" Chen asked, turning to Dr. Aiden Parrish. The scientist nodded, his fingers dancing over a holographic control panel. "As ready as we'll ever be, Admiral. The ship's systems are operating at peak efficiency." Outside, the alien spectators pointed and laughed at the human vessel. To their eyes, it looked primitive compared to their sleek, advanced ships. Zix, the tall blue-skinned alien who had accepted humanity's challenge, approached the Cosmic Leap with a smug grin. "I hope you're prepared to lose gracefully," he said, his voice dripping with condescension. Admiral Chen smiled back, a glint of determination in her eyes. "We'll see who's laughing at the finish line." The race course was ambitious, a journey to the edge of the galaxy and back, passing through treacherous nebula and around massive black holes. It would push even the most advanced ships to their limits. As the countdown began, tension filled the air. The alien ships hummed to life, their engines glowing with exotic energies. The Cosmic Leap, in contrast, remained eerily quiet. 3, 2, 1, go. In a flash, the alien ships vanished, jumping to light speed with breathtaking speed. The Cosmic Leap, however, didn't move. Laughter erupted from the watching crowd. "Look!" someone shouted. "The humans can't even start their ship." But aboard the Cosmic Leap, Admiral Chen remained calm. She nodded to Dr. Parrish, who took a deep breath and pressed a glowing button on his console. Suddenly, the strange symbols on the ship's hull began to glow. The space around the Cosmic Leap seemed to ripple and twist. Then, with a silent flash of light that momentarily blinded everyone watching, the ship vanished. Confusion replaced the laughter. The aliens turned to their sensors, trying to locate the human vessel, but it was nowhere to be found. Minutes ticked by. The alien racers sent back regular updates, boasting of their progress. But of the Cosmic Leap, there was no sign. Perhaps their ship exploded. Gloop, the tentacled alien, suggested with a chuckle. Just then, alarms blared across Nexus Prime. The space station shook as if hit by an invisible wave. On the main viewing screen, a swirling vortex of impossible colors appeared at the edge of the galaxy. The finish line. From this vortex emerged the Cosmic Leap, gliding serenely back into normal space. Silence fell over Nexus Prime. The aliens stared in disbelief. The human ship had completed the entire race course in mere minutes, a journey that should have taken days even for the fastest ships. As the reality of what had happened sank in, chaos erupted. Aliens rushed to their communication devices, spreading the news across the galaxy. The humans, those primitive newcomers, had done the impossible. The Cosmic Leap docked at Nexus Prime, and Admiral Chen stepped out, a small smile on her face. Dr. Parrish followed, looking dazed but triumphant. Zix approached them, his blue skin now pale with shock. "How?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "How is this possible?" Admiral Chen's smile widened. "Let's just say we took a shortcut through the seventh dimension." As word of humanity's victory spread, the mood on Nexus Prime shifted. The laughter was gone, replaced by a mix of awe and fear. The other races began to look at the humans with new eyes, reassessing their place in the galactic hierarchy. But amidst the celebration, Dr. Parrish noticed something strange. The symbols on the Cosmic Leap's hull were changing, rearranging themselves into new patterns. And deep within the ship's computer, the mysterious blinking light had turned from green to red. As Admiral Chen gave interviews and accepted congratulations, Dr. Parrish slipped away to investigate. He had a nagging feeling that their journey through the seventh dimension had done more than just win them a race. They had opened a door, and now something was trying to come through. The first signs of a greater challenge were appearing, but in their moment of triumph, only Dr. Parrish noticed. The true test of humanity was just beginning, and the laughter of the galaxy would soon be the least of their concerns. In the weeks following humanity's shocking victory in the galactic race, the political landscape of the Galactic Federation changed dramatically. Humans, once the laughingstock of the galaxy, were now viewed with a mixture of fear, respect, and curiosity. Admiral Sarah Chen found herself in high-level meetings with the Federation's most powerful leaders. They all wanted to know more about the seventh dimension technology, but she kept the details secret, knowing it was humanity's only advantage. Meanwhile, Dr. Aiden Parrish worked tirelessly to understand the changes in the Cosmic Leap. The symbols on the hull continued to shift, and the ship's systems were behaving erratically. He had a growing sense of unease, but couldn't pinpoint the cause. One day, as Chen was in a tense negotiation with the Federation Council, alarms blared across Nexus Prime. The station shook violently, throwing everyone off balance. "We're under attack," someone shouted. Chen rushed to the command center, where chaos reigned. On the main screen, a terrifying sight greeted her. A massive fleet of ships unlike anything she'd ever seen before. They were dark, almost invisible against the backdrop of space, with shapes that seemed to defy the laws of physics. "What are they?" she asked, her voice barely audible over the alarms. An alien officer, a reptilian creature named Seth, shook his head in disbelief. "Unknown," he hissed. "They're not in any of our databases." As they watched, the alien fleet unleashed a barrage of weapons. Beams of dark energy lashed out, tearing through the Federation's defensive ships like they were made of paper. Chen's mind raced. She knew the Federation's forces were no match for this new threat. There was only one option. "Get me to the Cosmic Leap," she ordered. As Chen and a small team raced towards the docking bay, Dr. Parrish's voice crackled over her communicator. "Admiral, wait. There's something you need to know about the ship." But his warning was cut off as another explosion rocked the station. Chen and her team barely made it to the Cosmic Leap, sealing themselves inside as chunks of debris rained down around them. "Doctor, what were you trying to tell me?" Chen asked as she strapped herself into the command chair. Parrish's face appeared on a screen, looking pale and worried. "The symbols, Admiral. I've partially decoded them. They're not just equations. They're a warning. I think our journey through the seventh dimension attracted attention. Attention from something out there." Chen's blood ran cold as she realized the implications. "You mean we led these invaders here?" Parrish nodded grimly. "It's possible. But the ship might also be our only hope of stopping them. With a deep breath, Chen made her decision. Then let's use it. Doctor, I need you to guide us through another seventh-dimensional jump. We're going to take the fight to them. As the cosmic leap powered up, the battle outside intensified. The Federation's forces were being decimated. Nexus Prime itself was taking heavy damage, its once proud towers crumbling under the onslaught. Chen watched the destruction with a mix of horror and determination. All right, Doctor, take us in. The ship hummed to life, the symbols on its hull glowing brightly. Space around them began to twist and warp, but just as they were about to make the jump, a beam of dark energy from the alien fleet struck the cosmic leap. Alarms blared inside the ship. Parrish's voice was frantic over the comm. Admiral, the seventh-dimensional drive is destabilizing. If we jump now, I don't know where or when we'll end up. Chen gripped her seat as the ship shuddered violently. Through the view screen, she could see more of the dark beams heading their way. It was now or never. We don't have a choice, Doctor, she said firmly. Jump now. With a blinding flash and a sensation of reality twisting inside out, the cosmic leap vanished from normal space. In an instant, they were surrounded by swirling colors and impossible geometries of the higher dimensions. But something was wrong. The ship was spinning out of control, alarms blaring from every system. Through the chaos, Chen heard Parrish's panicked voice. Admiral, we're not alone here. Something's coming towards us. As the cosmic leap tumbled through the mind-bending realm of the seventh dimension, Chen caught a glimpse of something vast and terrifying moving towards them. It was a being of pure energy, incomprehensible to human minds. In that moment, Chen realized that the battle they had left behind was just the beginning. The true crisis was only now unfolding, and humanity's greatest challenge lay not in the physical universe, but in realms beyond their understanding. As consciousness began to fade, Chen had one last thought. They had wanted to prove humanity's worth to the galaxy. Now, they might have to prove it to forces far beyond anything they had ever imagined. Admiral Sarah Chen awoke with a start, her head pounding. She found herself lying on the floor of the Cosmic Leap's bridge, surrounded by flickering lights and the soft hum of damaged systems. As her vision cleared, she saw Dr. Aiden Parrish hunched over a console, his fingers flying across holographic displays. Doctor, she croaked, her throat dry. What happened? Where are we? Parrish turned, relief washing over his tired face. Admiral, you're awake. We've been, well, I'm not sure drifting is the right word when it comes to the seventh dimension, but we've been here for what seems like days. Chen struggled to her feet, memories of the battle and their desperate jump flooding back. The entity we saw, did it catch us? Parrish shook his head. No, but it's out there, watching, waiting. I think it's curious about us. As if on cue, the ship shuddered. Through the view screen, Chen saw swirls of impossible colors part, revealing a vast, shimmering form. It was the entity they had glimpsed earlier, but now they could see it clearly. It was beautiful and terrifying, a being of pure energy that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at once. Suddenly, the symbols on the Cosmic Leap's hull began to glow brightly. The ship's computer came to life, displaying streams of data that even Parrish couldn't understand. What's happening? Chen asked, her voice filled with awe and fear. Parrish's eyes widened as he studied the data. It's communicating with us. Through the ship, the symbols, they're not just warnings or equations. They're a language. As they watched, the streams of data began to coalesce into images and sensations. Chen and Parrish found their minds filled with visions of the universe beyond anything they had ever imagined. They saw the birth and death of galaxies, the dance of dimensions, and the true nature of reality itself. In that moment, they understood. The seventh dimension wasn't just a means of faster-than-light travel. It was a gateway to understanding the fundamental forces of the universe. The entity, they realized, was a guardian of sorts. It had been drawn to their dimension by the cosmic leap's jump, curious about the species that had stumbled upon this great secret. As the visions faded, Chen and Parrish found themselves change. They could feel new knowledge settling into their minds, reshaping their understanding of everything. "We need to get back," Chen said, her voice filled with newfound determination. "Our galaxy is still under attack." Parrish nodded, turning back to the ship's controls. But now, the once confusing systems seemed to make perfect sense. "I think I know how to control our jumps now," he said. "We can return to the exact moment we left." With a thought, the cosmic leap surged forward. The seventh dimension blurred around them, and in an instant, they were back in normal space. The battle was still raging, frozen in the same moment they had left. But now, Chen and Parrish saw the conflict with new eyes. The dark fleet that had seemed so terrifying before now looked primitive and clumsy compared to what they had witnessed. "Doctor," Chen said, a small smile playing on her lips, "let's show them what this ship can really do." With a mere gesture from Parrish, the cosmic leap sprang into action. It danced between dimensions, appearing and disappearing faster than the eye could follow. Each time it reappeared, another enemy ship was disabled, its weapons and engines shut down by forces they couldn't comprehend. The Federation forces watched in amazement as the human ship single-handedly turned the tide of the battle. The Dark Fleet, faced with an enemy they couldn't fight, began to retreat. As the last of the invaders fled, cheers erupted across the Federation channels. The cosmic leap returned to Nexus Prime, where a crowd of awestruck aliens had gathered. Chen and Parrish stepped out of the ship, their eyes glowing faintly with the knowledge of higher dimensions. The aliens backed away, sensing that these humans were no longer the same beings who had left. Zix, the blue-skinned alien who had once mocked humanity, approached cautiously. "How?" he asked simply, echoing his question from after the race. Chen smiled, but there was a sadness in her eyes. She knew that the galaxy would never be the same, that humanity's role had forever changed. "We've seen beyond the veil," she said softly. "And now we have a responsibility to guide and protect." As news of humanity's incredible feats spread across the galaxy, the laughter that had once greeted their efforts was replaced by reverence and a touch of fear. The humans, once the newcomers, had become the guardians of cosmic knowledge. But Chen and Parrish knew this was just the beginning. Greater challenges lay ahead, and the true test of humanity's worth was yet to come. Months had passed since the cosmic leap's dramatic victory over the Dark Fleet. The galaxy had changed. Humanity, once laughed at, was now both revered and feared. Admiral Sarah Chen and Dr. Aidan Parrish had become legends, their names whispered with awe across countless worlds. But peace was short-lived. Reports began to flood in from the outer reaches of the galaxy. The Dark Fleet had returned, larger and more powerful than before. This time, they'd brought with them strange devices that disrupted the very fabric of space-time. The Galactic Federation Council chamber was in an uproar. Representatives from every race argued and pleaded, their voices echoing off the grand walls of Nexus Prime. "We must strike first," shouted a warrior race. "No, we should negotiate," countered a peaceful species. Amidst the chaos, Admiral Chen stood calm and silent. Her eyes, still glowing faintly with otherworldly knowledge, scanned the room. Finally, she spoke, her voice cutting through the noise like a knife. "This isn't a war we can win with traditional methods," she said. "The enemy has evolved. They're not just fighting in our dimension anymore." A hush fell over the chamber. Dr. Parrish stepped forward, his hands trembling slightly as he activated a holographic display. "We've analyzed the data from our long-range sensors," he explained. "The enemy fleet isn't just traveling through space. They're punching holes between dimensions, using the chaos to fuel their weapons." Gasps and murmurs filled the room. Chen raised her hand for silence. "But we have an advantage," she continued. "The cosmic leap, and the knowledge we gained from our encounter in the seventh dimension." Zix, the blue-skinned alien who had once mocked humanity, now looked at Chen with respect. "What do you propose, Admiral?" Chen's eyes blazed with determination. "We take the fight to them, not just in this dimension, but across all of them." The plan was daring, perhaps even insane. The cosmic leap would leave a small fleet of ships specially modified with seventh dimension technology. They would confront the Dark Fleet not just in normal space, but across multiple dimensions simultaneously. As preparations were made, Chen and Parrish spent long hours in meditation, communing with the higher dimensional beings they had encountered. They returned from these sessions with eyes full of stars and minds brimming with cosmic strategies. Finally, the day of battle arrived. The cosmic leap, now accompanied by a dozen sleek, dimension-hopping ships, faced the vast Dark Fleet at the edge of the galaxy. "Remember," Chen's voice crackled over the comms to her fellow captains, "what you see isn't the whole picture. Trust your instincts and the knowledge we've shared." With a silent command, the cosmic leap leaped into action. It phased in and out of reality, each appearance accompanied by flashes of weapons fire that seemed to bend around corners of space-time. The other ships followed suit, their crews guided by the wisdom Chen and Parrish had imparted. They danced between dimensions, striking at the enemy from angles that shouldn't exist. The Dark Fleet, for all its power, found itself outmatched. Their weapons, deadly in three-dimensional space, often passed harmlessly through targets that were partially phased into other realms. But the battle was far from easy. Strange energies crackled across the battlefield, warping reality itself. Ships from both sides were caught in dimensional eddies, their crews experiencing time at different rates. At the heart of the conflict, the Cosmic Leap dueled with the Dark Fleet's flagship. The two vessels chased each other through layers of reality, their weapons tearing holes in the fabric of space-time. Inside the Cosmic Leap, Chen and Parrish worked in perfect harmony. Chen's military instincts, enhanced by cosmic awareness, guided their strategy. Parrish's scientific genius, expanded beyond human limits, kept their ship phase shifting at just the right moments. As the battle reached its peak, Chen saw an opportunity. With a thought, she directed the Cosmic Leap into a dimensional pocket, then burst out behind the enemy flagship. "Now, Doctor," she shouted. Parrish unleashed the ship's full power. A beam of pure dimensional energy lanced out, striking the dark vessel. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a silent flash, the enemy flagship simply ceased to exist, erased from every dimension simultaneously. With their leadership gone, the Dark Fleet fell into disarray. One by one, they were picked off by the dimension-hopping Federation ships, or simply fled back to whatever dark corner of the cosmos they had come from. As the last enemy ship vanished, cheers erupted across the Federation fleet. They had faced an impossible foe and emerged victorious. But for Chen and Parrish, standing on the bridge of the Cosmic Leap, the victory felt bittersweet. They had glimpsed wonders and terrors beyond imagination. They knew this battle, however great, was just one small chapter in the vast story of the universe. As they turned the Cosmic Leap back towards home, both felt the weight of their new role. Humanity had proven itself not just to the galaxy, but to forces beyond comprehension. The laughter had long since faded, replaced by respect, admiration, and perhaps a touch of fear. The journey that had begun with a simple challenge had led them to the very edge of reality. And now, as guardians of cosmic knowledge, their true journey was just beginning. The great battle was over. The Dark Fleet had been defeated, and peace returned to the galaxy. But for humanity and the Galactic Federation, nothing would ever be the same. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the grand window of the newly rebuilt Nexus Prime, gazing out at the stars. Her eyes, now permanently gleaming with the knowledge of higher dimensions, saw more than just pinpoints of light. She saw the intricate web of reality, the dance of dimensions that bound the universe together. Behind her, Dr. Aidan Parrish was deep in discussion with a group of alien scientists. His hands moved animatedly as he explained complex theories, bridging the gap between traditional science and the cosmic wisdom they had gained. "Admiral," a soft voice called. Chen turned to see Zix, the blue-skinned alien who had once mocked humanity. Now he approached with a mix of respect and awe. "The council is ready for you." Chen nodded and followed Zix to the Grand Council chamber. As she entered, a hush fell over the assembled representatives of every race in the Galactic Federation. The head of the council, a wise old being named Eldor, spoke first. "Admiral Chen, Dr. Parrish, we have gathered to discuss the future. Your actions have saved us all, but they have also changed everything we thought we knew about the universe." Chen stepped forward, her voice calm but filled with power. "Yes, they have. We stand at the threshold of a new era. The knowledge we've gained from the seventh dimension isn't just about travel or warfare. It's about understanding the very nature of existence." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Parrish joined Chen, adding, "We've seen that our universe is just one layer of a vast, interconnected reality. There are wonders out there beyond imagination, but also dangers we can scarcely comprehend." "What do you propose?" Eldor asked, leaning forward in his seat. Chen's eyes swept the room. "We need to evolve. Not just technologically, but as sentient beings. The seventh dimension has shown us that consciousness itself is a force in the universe. We need to learn to harness it, to grow beyond our current limitations." "But how?" another council member asked. Parrish stepped in. "We start by sharing what we've learned. Not all of it. Some knowledge is too dangerous to spread widely. But we can teach techniques to expand consciousness, to perceive higher dimensions. We can develop technologies that work in harmony with the fundamental forces of reality." Chen nodded. "And we need to prepare. The Dark Fleet may have been defeated, but they were just one threat. There are other forces out there, some benevolent, some not. We need to be ready to face whatever comes." The council chamber erupted in discussion. Some were excited by the possibilities, others fearful of change, but all recognized the truth in Chen and Parrish's words. After hours of debate, a decision was reached. A new division of the Galactic Federation would be formed, the Interdimensional Exploration and Defense Force. It would be led by humans, with Chen as its first commander, but would include members from all races. As the meeting concluded, Chen and Parrish stepped out onto a balcony overlooking the vast cityscape of Nexus Prime. The sky was filled with ships from 100 worlds, their lights twinkling like earthbound stars. "Do you think we're ready for this?" Parrish asked, a hint of doubt in his voice. Chen smiled, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Ready or not, it's here. We've been given a gift, Aiden. A chance to guide our galaxy into a new age of enlightenment." As they spoke, a shimmering appeared in the air before them. It was the higher dimensional being they had encountered in the seventh dimension, manifesting partially in their reality. No words were exchanged, but both Chen and Parrish felt a sense of approval and encouragement. They were on the right path. The being faded away, leaving Chen and Parrish staring out at the galaxy that was now under their protection. The laughter that had once greeted humanity's efforts was long forgotten. In its place was a sense of wonder and limitless possibility. "Well," Parrish said with a grin, "I guess we'd better get to work. We've got a lot to teach." Chen nodded, her eyes gleaming with the light of distant dimensions. "And even more to learn." As they turned back towards the council chamber, both felt the weight of their new roles. Humanity had proven itself not just worthy of joining the galactic community, but of leading it into a new era of cosmic understanding. The journey that had begun with a simple space race had led them to the very edge of reality. And now, as guardians of the galaxy and pioneers of interdimensional exploration, their greatest adventure was just beginning. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter that night, as if the universe itself was celebrating the dawn of a new age. An age where the boundaries between dimensions blurred, where consciousness and reality intertwined, and where the laughter of disbelief had been replaced by the shared wonder of discovery. Humanity, once the newcomers, had become the torchbearers, lighting the way into a future filled with infinite possibilities.